one of the things that really stood out for me is that every person who served in the war is a story unto themselves.
Sure. There is no there's 5 of you riding along in the car. Another car comes out of the side road, quackle, and you're all busted up. The newspaper reports it the next day as an accident, how a car hit 5 people. But it can't say what your personal thoughts were about the family riding the car, what their thoughts were, what anything, or what actually happened to them. I know I didn't say this, but it's an illustration.
It's actually a better illustration.
And so there's 5 stories. There can't be one story because you've got no idea. While it was happening to you, it was happening to me. And you have no idea what's happening to me because you were busy being happened yourself. So that's the way with the war. You can say, yes, we went up Juno Beach and so on and so on. But 1,500 guys went up Juno Beach. And to say we went up Juno Beach is the truth. And it's the full story. We came, we saw, and we went. But everybody that went up that beach or anywhere else, Juno came to mind, but anywhere else, is a story of their own. They can only tell their own story. I did this once in this church on the 50th anniversary of Normandy. And at the very beginning, I remember how I opened it. No author, no general, no writer, no person could tell the story of D-Day. The only person that could tell the story of D-Day was one person. What happened to that one person?
Sure.
Same thing.
Yeah.
All the way through the war, you have no idea what was going through the mind. We were brainwashed and taught what we were supposed to do. We did that. And when we come home from the war, where a lot of people went back to school and stuff, they were more comfortable because somebody was still telling them what to do, and we all wanted that. And here's where our support group, the churches, fell down. They didn't tell us what to do. They didn't. We weren't really part of any organization. As I said, I think earlier, we were lost.
Yeah. You really helped me to understand something, even though we get cut off like we did and we had to start again on the second part of it. It really hit home to me because I think your words that each person is a story unto themselves, I think that's where we missed the boat as churches. We treated you all the same when you did come back and didn't realize that you are a human being with your own story.
But the thing is, Dan, we're still doing it. We treat them as a congregation, not people.
And that's a point very well taken, actually.
Yeah. We have a congregation. We think what the congregation is going to think. We think, well, we've got to enlarge the congregation. We really don't have to do anything except tell it like it is, as it fits today. Not yesterday or back in Bible times or anything else. But where the mantle that fits on your shoulder today is the load we're carrying, not something that was in Jesus' time or before Jesus' time. We've got the load. And we brought back a load of really, really junk on our shoulders.
Sure.
And we didn't receive the proper help. or we didn't receive, no, that's wrong, it wasn't the proper help. We didn't get any help because nobody home knew what to do either. So instead of getting together and working it out some way, trying to make a compromise here and there, we just drifted.
Is you and I sitting here in front of the congregation, is this a good way to do the service together, you and I, for the congregation? What we're doing now?
Well, what did I tell you when you come in this morning about the idea?
Can you tell the congregation what you said?
Yeah. You said, "Do you think this is a good idea?" You said, "Yeah."
I did.
And I said, "I didn't."
Okay, now what's that? But you know what, Vere, by you telling me that you are each your own story, and you also reminded me, which didn't get on the tape, so I will repeat what you said, is that all the people who fought in any war are all stuffed into November the 11th as one. So they don't have their own individual stories.
You know, it's been everything. The government of Canada, and therefore the people of Canada, have some veterans, I guess, have had a hard time, but as far as I'm concerned, they've been good to me. They've been wonderful to me. So I know a lot of people just like that they've been good. Some of them complain because they had enough, it wouldn't be enough, and we had more than enough, it still wouldn't be enough. So some people are going to complain anyway, but as far as I'm concerned personally, and I know a lot of people in the same boat, think we've been used good. So we've no fault to find with any government since the war, for that matter. But it's not only the veterans, as far as the churches are concerned, but everybody's story onto themselves. You know, there's Barb Hillary, and there's Winnie Jodry, and there's Linda,
Yes.
the village, and there's my girlfriend here. And they're all individuals.
Yes.
And you can't tell me that one story is going to fit the other.
No, it's
life.
not. You're right. You're right.
So the thing that the churches have forgotten to do, and our ministers have forgotten to do, is to take an individual. Now this means so much devotion to duty, but here you compare with the servicemen we're supposed to be remembering today, and we are remembering today. But any day is Remembrance Day.
Well,
so you can't time. Every person has to be an individual, and every person has to have an individual attention. And during the time that they're getting that individual attention, whoever's doing it, whether it's the minister or the deacons or what, they're learning something. They will learn. You never read a book, no matter how trashy a book it was, you didn't learn something out of that book. So people are even more so. And if we did this, if our congregation was not considered a congregation, if the veterans were considered individuals, if the congregation, it's very hard, and I have no idea really how to work it out for any pastor. But a pastor has got to take everybody's story. And a pastor should know that story. That person under his spiritual guidance is going to live, and he's going to going to live and they're going to die under that.
Yeah.
So he should know what happened before he knew them. And as he knows them, to know how to give them comfort in the last stages of their life. And that requires time, unending patience, and I don't know what else you need. But it's an absolute requirement to have a flock.
The time is up now, Vere,
Yeah.
but I do want to say one other thing before I close, and that is you and I have enjoyed so many wonderful conversations in your room, and
Are
I
we through with that?
no, we're staying this right now to the
No,
conversation.
but are we through the conversations?
We are through for the conversation right now. Yes.
In our room?
Oh no, we're not through. We're going to have
Oh,
many
you
more.
just
Sorry,
said
we're going to have many more conversations in the room. But what I'm saying is that those times have endeared me to you very much. You and I have talked about it, and I feel that you are a very important person in my life, and I've
Thank
always
you.
felt that, and I know there are many people in the congregation who felt the same, and I want to thank you personally for the way that you have positively influenced my life. And I know that there are others out there in the congregation who would say the same to you as well.
Well, as I told you one time, Stephen kind of endeared himself to me. Now I always called him son if I had a son.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of adopted you as a son when we got together.
Yeah.
But I want to make it very clear to Stephen that he's not playing second fiddle.
No, and that's good. We want to clear that up for you, Stephen, if you were here right there this morning.
Yeah, that my thoughts are still with him and
Yeah.
Dean and his family.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, and I am not trying to influence anybody, but I've always, anybody that knows me pretty much know that if I feel a certain way about a thing, that's the way it's going to be as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I don't try to influence their lives.
Mhm.
But my own is going to be lived kind of by Happy Vere's rules.
And I appreciate that. So, Vere, I want to thank you very much this morning, and
thank you, and
and,
the congregation especially for
yeah.
staying here.
yeah, good. Okay, well, thank you, Vere.
Yep.